Before I get into this topic here, me personally, I really have no intentions on, just trying to make people feel what they feel, like what they felt, as far as like, just trying to make them uncomfortable, especially to a certain extent. But I mean, I'm not trying to be that person at all. I mean, as much as I like to just get real on certain things, at the same time, I'm not trying to just literally just talk bad about, some of the friendships I've had with, like, with any of my friends, So, it's not. I'm not trying to go that far as to, being that person that's trying to make any of my friends just feel, really uncomfortable, in that, like they may perceive that I'm literally just talking bad about them, and when that's not really the case, at all. I never try to do that. Even for as highly concerned as my friendship is with Jesse, I know just like a month or so ago, I just kind of reflected on some of the stuff that I've highlighted that he's done that was not to my liking and all that. But for the most part, I'm for guys like him, and this goes with guys like Andrew as well. Like I'm always having to pick the good. Like, hey, as much as possible, I'm not ever trying to look at anything, as far as like, seeing, like, highlighting the bad things because it's their fault, or it's, I never have to try to make it that it's their fault that, they've made me feel what I feel. No, ultimately, when it comes to my friendships with any friends, especially when it's guys like Jesse and Andrew, and hell, even and Mari, and which I'll get into her for in a little bit. I just like I always have I'm always intended to look at the good. You know what I'm saying? And I never have any intention to just literally try to to highlight anything that they may perceive me as, like, talking bad about them. But I do understand certain aspects of especially as far as, like, what I've what I've been told yesterday. But for the most part, it's I would never try to be that kind of friend, or that kind of person, and obviously I know what I'm capable of and what I got to deal with, especially at this time, so it's just clear to me that I know I can be a better person, be a better friend, and I might just need more than just therapeutic sessions, or just even like, you know, just what I'm prescribed with, because you know, it's I think it just needs more than just those two, like, because it's clear that I'm dealing with two dilemmas, and that's why right now, like, you know, and not that I'm intended to become someone that I'm not, but you know, and unfortunately, when I'm feeling so stuck that it's taking a long time for me to get out of these situations, you know, that's why I may be looked at differently now. And you know, as of what happened this week, you know, that's already a perfect example of you know, how I'm being looked at. But and anyways, like, one of these friends that I'm bringing up right now is Mari. Is you know, she, like, what she said, what was it, like Wednesday, I think, just after we had this pretty like heated argument, that she made it clear that she wasn't going to talk to me again for a while. So, you know, as bad as that hurts for me to even hear her say that, like, at the same time, I don't want to feel too butthurt about it, and that, you know, I'm not going to force the issue on trying to bring her back at this time. I haven't heard from her at all yesterday, and you know, that's just like, yesterday to me was just I'm just pretty much like all over the place when they're talking about like when I was at my dump, I just really felt like I couldn't be in my dump and at all, you know. So it's just bad enough that every time I'm there, like, I just have a hard time feeling like I'm at my dump, you know, real talk, because for the most part I'm just not being utilized so much anymore, you know, as an employee, as a designer, you know, to see what Armando's been doing. Like, I get he's dealing with one branch, but one subdivision, but you know, that doesn't mean I can't either. I thought we were supposed to be treated quote unquote equal, but you know, these dudes are a bunch of clowns, and they're a bunch of liars. So it's just whatever at that place, I just have no more objectivity for. But anyways, getting back to this topic, yeah, me and Mari it just seems now that, like, I mean, I hope that this doesn't last another month. I hope not. But it's clear to me, like, based on our argument, that she may just need, you know, I don't know if it's really going to be a month or so. It almost sounds like it's going to be, because we had that 1 month silence from one another in May, throughout May. So to me, I mean, I just hope I don't lose her next as a friend, because, you know, considering she is my best friend, and how much we just, you know, the kind of relationship we have, you know, in our best friend, our friendship, that just functions like, just to be friendly, like, uniquely, and just in a way that, like, you know, different from other, you know, best friend relationships, dare I say, at least from how me and her just, you know, communicate, and just, you know, how we treat one another and all that, you know. Yeah, so it's just, I mean, right now it's like, yeah, I'll admit it. It was a pretty heartbreaking, you know, moment to hear her say that she wasn't going to talk to me for a while. Again, hopefully it's not 1 month like before, but, you know, again, I'm not gonna force the issue. If she decides to go for that much time again, so be it. Because I'm literally sticking to my solo plan, and just having to solely focus on myself, and doing more for myself and all that. And it's like I'm not, that she needs to deal with her own stuff as well. So right now I'm pretty much in a position where like I really feel like I'm separated from my entire friend circle, and especially after what transpired this entire week, and especially yesterday. So I'm not like, 'cause look, I'm sorry if I made a lot of these people feel a certain way about me, and that they that they would just perceive me as somebody I'm not. That I know some of them know what I've been dealing with, and guys like Dewey who really who I got to give credit to, that's saying that it's not really me talking. You know what I'm saying? So I'll still have guys like him and Russ that who will continue to to show the same support for me, and even while I'm still dealing with my ongoing worst, that might be just even more, that may just even worse than the worst I'm already dealing with. So the most I can do is just hang on right now. But it's frustrating enough that I still gotta keep on applying, and all I can do is just hope I can hear back. In the meantime, while I'm still in this dump, I feel what I feel. I'm unfortunately, that's how far it has gotten to where my life is at, because I'm once again I'm doing my best to not to just stray from things that some friends would want to just perceive me differently out of, you know what I'm saying? So like it's just I don't want them to see me like a whole different person. No. And I understand, per their requests, it's just this, I'm doing it for their sake, I'm doing it for all my friends' sake, and as far as just giving them their respect. And right now, as I'm continuing to go solo, I gotta give them their space and their respect, and that's what I'm doing with Mari as well. I hate that we're not talking again. I hope it's not a month again, but right now, since then, it just feels like I'm really just by myself, and I'm talking about just feeling completely separated from my friend circle. So it's like I've already dealt with so much darkness in the month of April and May, and from June to July, after a while, it was I'm still trying to see the light, but as of right now, just when I thought things were gonna get better, and unfortunately, it's not, and now it's friend issues again, and it's just at an even bigger level than it was before. So just lots of serious matters, and I'm just gonna leave it at that for the meantime. As and especially with me and Mari just not talking right now, and I just I'm gonna leave it to her, to her decision if she wants to just message me. But in the meantime, I'm just so I'm just giving her space as well, and it's just sad for me to say, because She is my best friend. She's one of my best friends, but she is the best friend I've ever had in a best friend. And you know, I just miss her right now. I don't know if she's ever gonna watch this video or just listen to this, but I mean, I'm dealing with some sadness, and not that it's all because of of what she's told me, but it's other things too, just related to my entire friend circle. And like, no matter what happens, whether it's problems in my friend circle or problems at home, this and that, and as I'm still in this dump, like, nothing is gonna change up there. Like, as I'm sitting at my desk, whether Armando's here or not, shit isn't gonna change when you have the same leadership under that goddamn company president. You know what I'm saying? So I've done enough cooking. I just don't want to cook anymore, because you know that he's not gonna change, and this place ain't gonna change, and I have a hard time changing for the better. So I need to get the hell out of here, and so that I can have a better chance of changing for the better, and finally proving to all my friends that who are still trying to see me do better and getting the support that I need, that that I can just finally make them see that I'm a better friend again. And especially in that the mental health that I'm that I'm in the process of, it will get better for me as well. It all starts with a new job. I've been saying it over and over again. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I gotta get inside a dump. Snowing. Just it's freaking Friday, and it's always goddamn slow for whatever reason. Fridays are always the slowest. This is how abnormal this dump has become since what transpired the last couple of years. All right, peace out.